J.
Welcome to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real. We have a really good Tuesday show. We're going to cover the Magic Minute, some football, and some Major League Baseball. Jumping right in with Major League Baseball. Arod's story is getting so crazy. I mean, every day it seems like something else is going on with this guy. Now the latest reports are Joseph Tocopina, I believe is his last name, is Arod's new attorney taking over for this alleged situation where the Yankees actually wanted the surgeon to botch his surgery that he had to have done on his hip. This is the new allegation from Arod and his attorney team that not only are the Yankees trying to get him out of baseball along with Major League Baseball, but they actually went as far as, again, as reports are saying, that they botched one of his surgeries to be sure he couldn't play. So these, again, serious allegations. His attorney says they do have facts and paperwork, a trail of paperwork, proving that these are all true allegations. So that's going to be real interesting to see because, I mean, Arod is due a lot of money. I think it's like $100 million. And the Yankees, I'm sure, are trying to do whatever they can to not pay that contract, as well as Major League with trying to give him a 210-game suspension instead of a 50-game suspension along with everybody else. So we're going to have to just sit and wait to see about that. But let's get to some baseball, real baseball. He did have a really good game the other night. What's funny is Dempster was pitching to him. You could see he is intentionally trying to hit him at least 3 times. The ball actually goes behind him in one pitch, and then he finally does bean Arod, and that was funny because Joe Girardi comes running out of the bullpen and is about ready to jump on the picture because he beamed his guy. So it just seems like Arod's starting to come around. People are starting to like him again, and it doesn't hurt that he hit a home run to help win the game. So Arod in the news, at least all of it isn't bad stuff. He's playing good baseball. He's hitting over 300 this year. So very interesting topics. It's going to be a lot of drama played out in the courts, but it seems like his team is backing him up on the field, and so is his coach. As a matter of fact, the coach came out and did say that Girardi explained that the Dempster should be suspended. So in funny news, that's kind of hilarious there. But moving on from Major League Baseball, because we're only going to have to just wait and see. The Dodgers are just cleaning up over there in the Major League Baseball. We love to hear that. Let's jump into some NFL news. It was reported that Michael Vick was named the Eagles' starting quarterback for the beginning of the season, and that's big news because there was such a high anticipated challenge to see who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Eagles, but it looks like Michael Vick got the nod. And I'm going to tell you all, folks, Michael Vick is a good quarterback. He's mobile. He can hit on the run. He can do short slants. He can throw the ball. He has a good arm, strong arm. The problem with Michael Vick is he isn't football savvy when it comes to not taking the big hits. He tries to run like a running back. The problem is he's not a running back, and every time he takes those big hits, he gets hurt. And then when he gets hurt, he's out of games for a long period of time, tries to come back, and then he just doesn't do well. We need to see Michael Vick stay on his feet, avoid those big hits, stay in games, game after game, getting more and more repetition, more and more experience as the season goes throughout, and he will be fine. He will do very well for the Eagles. Then also in football news, Von Miller, the all-pro linebacker for the Denver Broncos, is going to be suspended. First reports came out it was going to be a 4-game. Now it looks like, folks, it's going to be a 6-game suspension for him for breaking the league substance abuse policy. So it's going to be interesting to see how many games. They're still in negotiations. I'm sure Miller's going to want it to go down, and hopefully the league will work with that, because 6 games, folks, that's a huge amount of time. But again, only time will tell. And then let's go ahead and go into our last week, or on Friday, we covered our fantasy top 3 quarterback picks. Let's go ahead and jump in with our top 3 running back fantasy picks. So no delay there. We're not going to cut away for break or anything. Let's just get in. Number 1, we're going to go with Adrian Peterson. You just can't deny this guy. For the last 2 seasons, he's been the number 1 rusher. No one can. They have no receiving core whatsoever. Everybody knows that he's going to get the ball, and he still ran for over 2,000 yards. It's just amazing what this guy can do. So we're going to give him the number 1 spot for this season as well for running backs. And then number 2, and it's a little shaky now because he got hurt. We don't know how serious it is, but Doug Martin with the Tampa Bay Bucks, 2nd in all yards rushing last year. That's going to be big for him this season to step up. But with the injury, we don't know if he's going to miss any games. We don't know if he'll be ready for at the beginning of the season for that first game and how serious this injury is. But for right now, all injuries aside, just as a pure runner, Doug Martin is our number 2 pick. And then finally, we'll wrap up with the 3rd pick for fantasy draft running backs this year and go with Arian Foster. Again, injuries aside, you can't deny this guy. He has a big line, a lot of protection to run, and with a decent quarterback, guys are afraid to put 8 in the box, so it gives them big gaps. And let's just face it, the guy's a beast. He's ran 2 years just phenomenally, and that's where we're going to wrap up with our 3 top fantasy running back picks. Now this Friday, we will cover the wide receivers, our top 3 wide receiver picks. But that's all right now for sports news. Just going to hit you real quick and move on. We're not going to take a commercial or anything. We're just going to wrap up with thanking the Player Zone and Right On Time Errand and Delivery Service. Again, all your gaming supplies, comic books, action figures, you name it, they got it. They got autographs, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything you need, hit them up. You can get to them through RiodosoMidtown.com. Click on the Merchants tab, boom, you'll go right to the Player Zone. Or they have their own Facebook page, which is the Player Zone Facebook page, and you can contact them. So we can't say enough for them. Thank you so much. Without them, we couldn't have a show. And then we're also going to go into our final wrap-up for today, which is, we got to do it. Everybody loves it. Our gamers, the Magic Minute. Last Friday, we ran a Type 2 Standard Tournament. We had 12 players enter in that tournament, and here's the top 3, how it rounded out. Placing 3rd, we had Rocker Boy. He is a local. He's been doing very well because he's only been playing Magic again for about a month. He's been out of it for almost 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So we're real excited for Rocker Boy, who's back in Magic, and he's doing very well, placing in our last few tournaments in the top 3. So going to number 2, took 2nd place, Mike Harris. Again, a local player, very good player, very well organized when it comes to deck building, builds amazing decks, very competitive, very good job, Mike Harris, 2nd place. And then we have somebody hasn't placed in the top 3, and since I can remember, and that's Chris Gonzalez. Good job, Chris. Finally made it. Finally hit 1st place. I mean, my gosh, it's probably been 2 years. Just kidding. It hasn't been 2 years, but got to give Chris Gonzalez a lot of crap, because to see him at the first, at the top, it's been a while. Good job. Great deck. And we have to say, it was a good competitive tournament. A lot of good players from all over, from Alamogordo, Roswell, and then right here in the Ruidoso area. We even had Mescalero representing. Great tournament. Now, to do our wrap-up again with the Magic Minute, we just got to say something real quick about Vault 20 that's releasing this week. Now, what Vault 20 is for anyone that's a gamer knows, this is the 20th year anniversary for Magic the Gathering. 20 years this card game has been going strong and growing. As a matter of fact, you can't even get your hands on the first few sets of Magic unless you want to go take a loan out from the bank to buy some of these cards. Now, what Vault 20 means is they went from the first year of Magic to the 20th year of Magic, and for every single year up to the 20th year, they pulled one of the hot cards out of that year and put it in this set. So Vault 20 is going to have a Jace the Mind Sculptor in it. That's right, folks. Jace the Mind Sculptor, which represented from 2000, I believe, 11 or 10, was when that card hit the market and hit the open gaming shops, and guys were just falling all over it. Now the card is worth hundreds of dollars. That card will be in this Vault 20, as not also just that, but a lot of other great cards, and you cannot miss this. There's only going to be a short demand or short supply, but a high demand for this set. So be sure you hit all your local shops. You could even come right into the Player Zone, and they'll have a few there ready to go this weekend. So for right now, J Real's going to sign out. Thank you all for tuning in. Leave your feedback and comments. We'll address them. We did last week. We had, Obama Power One come in and leave his feedback, and we talked about it on Friday's show. We'll do the same for you. Don't hesitate to contact us through the Average Joe Sports Talk Show Facebook page, which is hot and new. People hitting us on that all the time. Who knows? We might even get you on the show. But for right now, J Will's going to sign out, say peace and much love, and we will see you on Friday's show. Don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. J Will.